Once upon a time, in a cottage at the edge of a deep wood, lived a little girl and her mother. The little girl always wore a little red cape her grandmother had made for her, with a red hood to cover her curls. So the neighbors called her Little Red Riding Hood. One morning, Red Riding Hood's mother put a loaf of crusty bread, some spiced meat, and a bottle of red wine into a basket and said to her, "I want you to take these goodies to your grandmother who is sick, but be sure to go straight along the woods path, and do not stop and play or talk to any strangers." Little Red Riding Hood promised to be careful, took the basket, and off she started. She loved to walk through the shady woods where all the flowers, birds, and little animals lived. And she decided to make a nosegay of wild flowers for her grandmother. Soon she was dancing and playing with the butterflies and did not see the great wolf. "What a sweet little morsel," he said to himself, watching her hungrily from behind a big tree. Little Red Riding Hood sat down to rest and tie a bonnet. Suddenly the wolf appeared. He said, "Good morning, my dear. Whither off so early?" Little Red Riding Hood did not know what a wicked animal he was, so she was not a bit afraid of him. "Good morning, wolf. I'm taking this basket to my grandmother who is sick," she said. "Where does she live, Red Riding Hood?" said Wolf, walking along with her a little while. "A cottage stands near the 3 oak trees by the edge of the wood not far from here. But my mother said I must not speak to strangers," said Red Riding Hood. "Always obey your mother, my dear, and a good day to you." Wolf set off running with great leaps and bounds by a short road to the grandmother's cottage. Panting for breath, he rapped at the door. "Who is there?" called the grandmother, who was in bed. "It is I, Little Red Riding Hood," said Wolf, trying to make his voice sound soft and sweet. "Come in, my dear," said the grandmother. So Wolf pulled the latch string, entered the cottage, and ate up grandmother in one big gulp. Then he put on her nightgown and climbed into her bed. He was just pulling the sheet up over his nose when Little Red Riding Hood rapped at the door. "Who is there?" called the wolf, trying to make his voice sweet and quavery. "It is I, Red Riding Hood," said the little girl. "Come in, my dear," said the wolf. So Little Red Riding Hood came in and went close up to the bed. "Why, what big ears you have!" cried Little Red Riding Hood. "The better to hear you with, my dear," said the wolf. "And Granny, what big eyes you have!" cried Little Red Riding Hood. "Oh, the better to see you with, my dear," said the wolf. "And Granny, what big teeth you have!" "They're better to eat you with," snapped the wolf. Hardly had the wolf said this than he made a spring at Little Red Riding Hood. "Help! Help!" she cried, but the wolf swallowed her with one gulp, crept back into bed, and was soon snoring loudly. However, at the sound of Red Riding Hood's cries, a woodcutter nearby stopped his work and ran to the cottage. With one blow of an axe, he killed the wolf. And out stepped Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother, quite unharmed. "Oh, how frightened I was," said Little Red Riding Hood. "It was so dark inside. How are you, Granny?" "I'm all right now, my dear. Let's have something to eat." So the woodcutter, Granny, and Little Red Riding Hood all sat down to a hearty meal of strawberries and cream. When they had eaten, the woodcutter walked home through the woods with his bundle of wood and the skin of the wolf dangling on a stick. There were no more wolves seen in the forest, and Little Red Riding Hood often used to visit her grandmother, who read her a story each time she came.
a shock to any system to self-reflection. To have perfection hurled at you, result of centuries of pain. Casual pleasure right around those features. Some great horde of peoples have suffered to bring about that news, arched in such a way as to exert power over my every hidden appetite. She is black, as all things secret. Black as nature's hiding place, where she stores her loot. At night, she dares to lie naked among the dark folds of her very own desires. She speaks to no one of night, but gives it generously to anyone that has the profoundest hunger for it.
Why do you live in a house this size, alone? What is there to know about Gotcha?
Archie, how long you been here?
Madam, I came with the house.
You mean the plumbers came in and put in the plumbing and then they put you in it?
You're serious, aren't you?
Sorry. I gave my life to God. You're living in sin. Oh, my Lord.
I didn't kill him. Your husband committed suicide. I swear you that's the truth.
I believe you.
Didn't expect you would.
I'm full of surprises. Why is his body in the freezer?
When I found your husband's body, I took his blood.
What did you do with it?
I drank it.
I think you're as crazy as he was.
Use the power, sir. They're gonna come back on in a few minutes.
Marry me.
What?
Marry me. I had a terrible dream last night. I dreamed you murdered me.
It wasn't a dream, Gandhi. It's a terrible reality.
What are you talking about?
When I told you last night that I wanted you to live forever, I meant it. I want you to live forever just as I was. I love you, and I don't want to face losing you, ever. You didn't dream, darling. I really did kill you. I stabbed you 3 times with the same Earthinian dagger your husband stabbed me with. Without his knowing it, he rendered me immortal. I have rendered you immortal deliberately. Now we're both condemned to an eternal life on this earth.
I don't believe you. You're mad. It's all a lot of nonsense.
No, it is not. I'll prove it to you once again.
Soy Cuba.
Я Куба.
Una vez aquí desembarcó.
Когда-то здесь высадился Христофор Колумб.
Él me escribió en su diario.
Он записал в своем дневнике:
Es la tierra más hermosa.
это самая прекрасная земля, которую видели глаза человеческие.
Gracias, señor Colón.
Спасибо, сеньор Колумб.
Cuando usted me vio por primera vez,
Когда вы впервые увидели меня,
cantaba
я пела
y reía.
и смеялась.
Yo saludé las flores.
Я приветствовала пальмовыми ветвями паруса.
Creí que me traían.
Я думала, что корабли привезли счастье.
Soy Cuba.
Я Куба.
Mi azúcar
Мой сахар возили корабли.
mis lágrimas
Мои слезы
me las dejaban.
оставляли мне.
Extraña cosa es el azúcar.
Странная вещь сахар, сеньор Колумб.
Tanto llanto en él,
Только в нем слез,
y sin embargo es dulce.
а он сладкий.
Anyway, I don't know if I really believe in design. I don't think it would frighten me so much. Do you understand? The idea of desire is very much a part of our culture. All the Meridians thought they had a desire, not a need for it, but it was a need. But Anyway, I don't know if I really believe in a desire. I don't think it would frighten me so much. Do you understand that? I think I understand. The idea of desire is very much a part of our culture. After all, the Murphinians thought they had a desire for blood, not a need for it, but it was a need. Right. See what hunger is? I don't know what hunger is. I mean, I sit here and I eat. I don't know what hunger is. I don't know what hunger is.